Hi, this is Juan from JuanTutors.com. Welcome to my totally free office hours. Today we're working on the August 2016 New York Geometry Common Core Regents exam, problem number 5. If you want to access these exams, go to nysedregents.org, click on the appropriate tabs, and the exams are freely available there. Here's the problem. Which point shown in the graph below is the image of point P after a counterclockwise rotation of 90 degrees about the origin? And here's point P, and then let's see, point A, B, C, and D. So maybe I can darken this in a little bit with red. So A, B, C, or D. So counterclockwise rotation about the origin. First, intuitively speaking, if I'm going to rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise, it seems like I'm going to end up somewhere close to A. So that's just because I'm going counterclockwise, means the opposite direction of the clock. Okay, that's counterclockwise, right? The second hand goes this way. The second hand goes this way. The minute hand goes this way. The hour hand goes this way. That's clockwise. Counterclockwise is the opposite direction. So it looks like the answer is probably going to be A, and definitely not B or definitely not D or C. And in fact, this does not look like 90 degrees. So I think the answer is going to be A. So they really didn't give coordinates. So really, they just want intuitively what the answer should be. But let's say that's X. Let's say that's the number Y. Okay. So they do expect you to know that a rotation by 90 degrees, this is by formula now, of a point X comma Y is equal to the point negative Y X. So in other words, in words, you switch X and Y and negate the first number. In that order, switching the X and Y and negate the first number. You can't negate the first number and then switch the X and Y. That's a different operation. Switch the X and the Y, then negate the first number. So if this is X, this is Y, I switch the X and the Y and I get Y. So I get, let's see. So X is a positive number and it's a larger number. So Y, the new Y coordinate is going to be a larger positive number. Bam. And then the old Y coordinate was a negative number, small. So the new Y coordinate is going to be a small, the new X coordinate is going to be a small positive number, like there. So in fact, that does look to be the right answer. It's going to be A. Okay. So we did it by formula, and we did it by intuition, and we did it by an estimation. So here is the answer. That's a 90-degree angle. If you look at the line there and there, that is a 90-degree angle. Okay, so let's see. This is a sample problem that was created by us. Which point in the plane has the same coordinates as the point r y equals x of P, reflection of y equals x of the point P? And then there's a bunch of transformations of the remaining points. Okay, so it does help to know that the reflection of y over the line y equals x of a point P, of the point P which has coordinates x comma y, is the point yx. In other words, you switch the x and the y. Okay, so for point P, x is a positive number and y is a small negative number. So switch the x and the y, and then the x coordinate is going to be a small negative number. And then the y coordinate is going to be a big positive number like this x. So in fact, that's the image of P prime. Okay, so now let's see if we can determine which of these is the answer. So number one, a reflection over the x-axis of the point A. A reflection over the x-axis, let me write this in red. A reflection over the x-axis of a point x comma y, that's taking a point up here and flipping it to the negative y coordinates, or taking a point down here and flipping it over the x-axis to this side. Either way, you're negating the y coordinate without changing the x coordinate. So x comma negative y. So if point A is up here, flipping it over the x-axis is going to give us a point here. Okay. So that's point A prime, not point P prime. Okay. Then reflecting over the origin of a point B. Well, if reflecting over the origin is going to, if we look from this point to the origin and continue on, that's going to give us point D. So a reflection over the origin of a point x comma y, it just switches it negates the x and the y, so negative x, negative y. So as a result, the reflection over the origin of point B happens to be point D in this case, okay, which is not equal to P prime. Okay, so the answer is not line 2. Now let me switch to a different color. The next one, the reflection over the line y equals 0, that's the x-axis of a point C. So that's the same thing as reflection over the x-axis of the point C, which again is that's negating the y-coordinate. So that's taking point C, flipping it over the x-axis, and we get to that point. So that's C prime. So in fact, this should be the answer. We're going to check our answer by finishing the choice 4. Rotation 90 degrees of D. Rotation of 90 degrees is assumed to be counterclockwise. Okay? And you have to know that. You're required to know that. There's nothing in the math notation that says it has to be that way. So that's something that you need to know. Historically speaking, that's what we've taken. Because if you rotate 90 degrees clockwise, you either have to describe it as a rotation of negative 90 degrees, or you have to describe it as a rotation of 270 degrees the other way, counterclockwise. So in fact, the rotation of 90 degrees of D counterclockwise in the opposite direction is going to be at A prime. Okay, so that in fact is not the answer. So the answer is choice C, choice 3. Hopefully we've given enough information in this problem for you to evaluate the right answer and also to determine which of these answers was incorrect. Definitely keep working at it. It takes a lot of work to really understand this stuff. So keep going, keep working at it. Listen, I know you can do it. Stay tuned for the next video starting right now.